Hello, I'm Brainerd Carey, Director of Praxis Center. I want to welcome you to the membership here in Praxis Center, and this is a video on the first module of getting your work into galleries. For many artists, this is a critical step. There are a lot of ways to navigate the art world. There are a lot of ways to sell work online and do a variety of things to get your work out into the world, alternative spaces, nonprofits. But for this course in getting your work into galleries, we're talking about commercial galleries and we're talking about sales. You know, there's in all the ways of getting your work out into the world, it takes a good amount of marketing. And artists often ask me, is there an agent that I can get, someone to do all that marketing for me? And really in the art world, there isn't an agent the way there is in the publishing world. The closest thing you could get to an agent is a gallerist. A gallerist is someone who believes in you, who believes in your work, and who is showing your work and selling it and handling all of that for you and sending you checks for usually about 50% of the value, the retail value of the work. So, this is the first module, and there's assignments in every one of these modules. So go through all the modules, do the assignments to the best you can, and this course finishes when you have a show in a gallery, when you're showing something. And that means a group show. It doesn't mean a solo show and being represented. It starts with being in a group show at a commercial gallery. So in this first module, I'm going to talk about how to build a list of galleries. And then in every successive module, do the assignments here first. Then you can complete and move on. Click the button to complete and move on. And you can do each successive module. And at the end of this, you'll have a gallery. That's the whole point of this, not to give you a lot of theory and ideas, but to actually make that happen. And then there'll be a link for you to tell me about how that happened. And you'll see many of the students in the Facebook forum, which there's a link to below in the text here, who have successfully had shows and residencies and all kinds of things at commercial galleries and other spaces. Okay, so let's begin. The idea of this module is to build a list of galleries. The way you build a list of galleries is to initially look around your geographical area. Now, of course, this depends whether you're in, it will differ depending on whether you're in a city or a suburb or, you know, depending on what country you're in. But ideally, well, maybe not ideally, you know, you want galleries to be nearby you so you can go and look at them and see them. If they're all an hour or half an hour or 2 hours driving, that's a little more difficult for you, but nevertheless, you're going to have to go see these galleries. The idea of just applying by email and getting into group shows that cost money, that's not a method I would suggest. That's usually a method for a gallery to raise money by charging fees. What you want is to build a relationship with a gallerist, with a gallery owner. And the way you build that relationship is by going there and seeing the gallery. So here's the assignment this week. There's actually 2 assignments this week and a couple of action steps to take. The first assignment is you want to build 6 to 8 galleries, you know, at least, you know, 8 to 10 would be nice, that are on your list of places where you'd like to show. And don't pick the biggest galleries like, you know, that are showing blue chip artists. Pick galleries that have artists in it that you relate to, that have resumes like you. And if you ask about the artists at the gallery, they'll usually give you a resume. You want to go into a gallery that, you know, has work that's on your level. And I don't mean necessarily that, you know, they make work like yours or they make photography or painting like yours, but that they're in the same place in their career as you are. If you've been painting for 5 years or 10 years or 20 years or 30 years, the other artists in there should be, you know, have that same kind of maturity that you have. And so then they're potentially a good fit. But essentially what makes them really a good fit is you visiting the galleries, looking at those galleries, taking some notes, and that's how you put together your list. So you go to a gallery, I would suggest going to openings as well as going to galleries during the day when there's not an opening, and look around. And, you know, take notes on how you think the space looks, how the show is hung. That's all really important because that's how your work would look in there. Go to the front desk and ask for resumes and material about the artist so you can see what prices they're selling work for. And you can look at the artist's resumes, and usually they give them to you right there. If it's a group show, say you want as much information on all these artists as they can give you. If it's a solo or two-person show, say the same thing. And if the resumes aren't there, say, can I have the resumes of these artists? That's fine to ask, you know. You don't have to tell them you're an artist. That's not what this stage is about. That's not what this module is about. You're just checking out the galleries and putting together a list of, let's say, 8 to 10 galleries that you'd like to be in. Now, one other thing you can do if you want, you'll also see links here to watch a video by Anthony Phillip. He's a gallerist that also gave a live Facebook talk in the private members group, which you are in. If you're not in that private members group, there's also a link below here in the text, so you can go to the Facebook group and ask to join. But Anthony Phillip and myself and other people do live Facebook talks there. And he gave a talk on getting into a gallery, which I think is worth watching as well. So, okay, the assignment today, again, is go to galleries, take notes, go there in person, and take notes. Do a little bit of detective work, which is fine. Ask for notes on the shows, price lists that you can take with you. If you can't take it with you, do a snapshot with your phone. Also ask for the resumes of artists. Then make a short list of galleries you like. So here's one more assignment to do for extra credit if you'd like. And I'd love you to post about this in the group if you do this, because this is a fun, really interesting learning experience that flips the power dynamic and puts you in a powerful position in a gallery. Walk into a gallery that is perhaps not the gallery that you want to be in. One that's that's full, that has a lot of artists that are maybe, a gallery that you think has too many blue chip artists for you to be in. Or a gallery that maybe just you don't want to be in, but you know sells work for a lot of money. Or any gallery really, but pick one that's kind of high end. Walk in there, look around, say to the person at the front desk, excuse me, can I talk to someone about that piece of work on the wall over there? That's all you're saying. You want to talk to someone about that piece of work on the wall. And the person at the front desk will say, why yes, of course. And that either the curator or the director will come running right out from the back and they'll say, hi, can I help you? And you can say, yes, I'd like to talk about that work over there. Can I talk to you a little bit about this show? You know, it's fine to ask this. They're usually not busy, and you could be buying for someone else. They have no idea. It's fine to ask, and there's a reason for this. So you walk over there and you say, yeah, I want to ask you about this piece. And since you're an artist, you can ask a pretty intelligent question like, what's the medium they're using here? It looks like pastel with oil, or whatever it is. You can ask a kind of intelligent question about that. Did the artist make these frames because they look handmade? Is this photography digital or analog or film-based? Is there, you can ask interesting questions, and you can say, where is this artist from? Can you tell me a little bit about this artist? You can ask good questions like that. The reason is, then they will start talking to you about that artist. They'll start essentially telling you why that's a great artist. And listen carefully to how they're talking to you, because that's how, if you were in their gallery, they would sell your work. Now, this may not be one of the galleries that you're going to eventually approach. Maybe it is one that you're going to put on your list. It's fine not to tell them you're an artist. In fact, don't tell them you're an artist at this stage. That's usually a conversation stopper. Just say, I'm just interested in the work. I want to know more about it. And if they say, are you interested in buying it? You can say, well, I'm looking for a friend. So it's hard to say, but I'm just looking right now. That's all fine to do. That's ethical to do. There's nothing wrong with that. And there's nothing more that curators and gallery directors like than talking about the work on the wall to someone who's sensitive. So again, extra credit, you don't have to do that here, but I'd love you to do it and post about it in the group if you do, if you enjoy it, because you'll hear how they talk about work. And that will be kind of enlightening. I've done this at a lot of galleries, major and minor galleries in New York, and it's surprising and wonderful and sometimes shocking. Sometimes at great galleries, you'll hear them talking about an artist's work in really shallow terms, and it's surprising. Other times you'll hear them talk very passionately about artists with great knowledge, and it's really impressive. So it gives you a sense of how artwork is sold and how that world works. So I strongly encourage you to do that. That's just kind of a fun assignment, and it also puts you in a powerful position. You don't give them your card or anything. You don't even have to give them information about who you are other than your first name. It'll give you a great sense of how galleries sell and work with clients, which is important. So again, the assignment here, put together 8 to 10 galleries. That's it. And then you can post that in the group if you like, which there's a link to below, or move on to the next module. The other 2 assignments in here is to, of course, join the Facebook group, which is where all your questions are answered on all of these topics, as well as all the other courses that are here, which you can take in any order you like. And the third extra credit one is to go into galleries, essentially anonymously. And you can use your name, but just ask the person at the front desk if you can talk to someone about the work on the wall. And I think you'll find that enjoyable, enlightening, and educational. Again, welcome to this course on getting your work into a gallery. I look forward to hearing from you as you move through this course.